Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to everybody. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I did. Won some money at the track, so that was really nice. Just been having fun, showing glammed all around Seattle. Been having a good time doing that, and having fun with her. And she got to meet my husband this weekend and stuff. So we've been having a good time. And so today I'm going to talk about. Yesterday I talked about easy breezy, lemon peasy, and in the blog, and talked about some of the easiness of meeting, um, you know, in interracial relationships up here. It's just a wonderful boom, I must say, here in Seattle, and from what I understand and have seen from traveling across the West Coast, all across the West Coast. But as usual, I give women these, hey, go out and do it and go, go, go. But I also want to give women warnings about things they need to look for and vet for as they go into new possible relationships with new people, things you need to listen for. And so it's important. And so in my continuing series called Know Your Emotional Abuser, this week part is about abusive expectations and emotional blackmail. And abusive expectations and emotional blackmail are both emotional abuse, and they have of course, they're different from one another in how they work and stuff. And as I've said before, emotional blackmail can sometimes be a little more aggressive and in your face, but it can also be very subtle. And so you have to pay attention to a lot of different things to know if there's a possibility someone's trying to emotionally blackmail you, or emotionally abuse you, or give abusive expectations. Also, remember the thing about it, emotional abuse and all types of abuse is things are clear and consistent. Okay, and so when I give you these descriptions, it'll be clear. When you see someone do that, it'll be clear, and it'll be something that they do over and over and over again. Because with abusers, they have a pattern. They can't really stop the pattern. They have a pattern and something that works for them, so they use it over and over again because it works for them most times. And when it stops working, they leave that person and just go to somebody else, and start emotionally abusing them. But they have a pattern. So you have to remember that it's clear and consistent. It's not something that people do. We all do a couple of these. We all do these every once in a while ourselves. I don't want anybody thinking, "Oh my God, I'm an emotional abuser." No, we all are human beings. So there are things that we do you know, every once in a while with people. But when you find yourself or see someone else using these consistently to try to control people and have power over people, because that's always the end result when it comes to emotional abuse, is to control people and have power on them, over them, then you have to think about whether or not you're actually an abuser. And of course, we're coming from today. Our explanations are coming from The Emotionally Abusive Relationship by Beverly Engel. I suggest you pick this up if you have been emotionally abused, want to know about emotional abuse, think you're an emotional abuser, but you're not really sure. And it talks about emotional abuse, how to get over emotional abuse. It talks about emotional abusers and how they can get help for being abusers. So today we're going to talk about abusive expectations and emotional blackmail. Abusive expectations are when you have abusive expectations, you place unreasonable demands on your partner. You're, for example, expecting a partner to put aside everything in order to satisfy your needs, demanding a partner's undivided attention, demanding constant sex, or requiring a partner to spend all of his or her time with you are all examples of abusive expectations. A partner with abusive expectations can never be pleased because there is always something more you could have done. You are likely to be subjected to constant criticism and to be berated because you don't fulfill his or her needs. Listen, this I see all the time. I see this in relationships all the time with women doing this to men and men doing this to women. This is something that is common, a common form of emotional abuse. And so, and most of us probably, as I'm telling you this, you're thinking, "Oh my God, I've seen that before," or a friend of mine, or an associate, or someone you know, and you've seen that happen to, or you've seen them do it and stuff. Anyone that needs all of your time and attention and wants you to set everything about yourself and your life over to the side to make them happy, rest assured something is wrong. You shouldn't meet someone, a guy, and all of a sudden he needs all of your time. He doesn't want you to see your family. He doesn't want you to see your friends. He doesn't want you to go out. He doesn't want you to have a life, someone who may not want you to have a job, and not because they're trying to, not because they're trying to take care of you and stuff, but they really don't want you out of the home. So they're demanding that you quit your job, you quit any extracurricular or social activities that you do. You stop talking to family. You may be on the phone and they may interrupt you and get upset. If you have kids, older children or something that are out of the house and you're in this relationship, they may not want you to talk to your children and things like that. And in all likelihood, it's someone that they may be talking to their family. And maybe not, but they may be talking to their family and having relationships and having friendships and, and seeing about people, but they don't want you to do it. And they want all of you. You have to remember, when people want all of your time and all of your attention and are really demanding about it and make you feel guilty about not giving it to them, believe me, you have an emotional abuser right there and stuff, and I mean, they're never happy. Never, ever, ever happy. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much you do. You could do everything. You could do it again. You could do it 10 times. And they would still want more. And they're demanding more, but they're not giving anything. They're always demanding. They're always demanding you give to them. They're always demanding that you do for them, but they're never giving you anything. You never get anything in return. They never spend, it's not like they're spending, they're canceling, seeing other people and canceling, going out with friends or canceling family events to see about you. It's only you that has to demand. There's no reciprocation there. It's only you that will be under that. It's only you that they will expect to do that. And you will have the worst blow ups and berating because you don't do enough. And they'll say that in the berating. Believe me, they will say that to you in the berating, where you're just not doing enough. You're not doing enough for me. Why don't you do like so and so? Why don't you do like this person? Why don't you do like that person? No, usually it'll be a comparison between you and someone else that they may think is better at, kind of seeing about their husband or wife or whatever than you are, and stuff. And so they'll constantly berate you and compare you to other people and say, well, you're not doing what so and so's doing. She does this for her husband, or he does that for his wife and stuff. And so it's this constant kind of berating. So you'll feel really bad about yourself, or you think, well, maybe if I did this, maybe if I did it as they asked, maybe if I did it as they wanted, they would stop. But it won't stop. It'll be more and more. The more you give, the more they'll want. The more you give, the more they'll want. And so you have to be careful about that. Before I started dating Matt, I was dating a guy, and we'd only dated for maybe a week or two. We had gone out, and I had, we had gone out, and the next day was Mother's Day, and he was asking me about coming to have breakfast with him, or coming. And I'm not a morning person. I don't get up early in the morning, so that's kind of off. Anyway, I don't wake up in the early in the morning to have breakfast with anybody. I don't do that. And so I was like, oh no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I have a lunch. My brother and sister-in-law were taking my mom and my sister-in-law's mom to this great lunch at this Brazilian restaurant. No, I got a lunch I got to get to tomorrow for Mother's Day. You know, we're celebrating Mother's Day, and he got really angry. And I thought to myself, at first I didn't really think about it. I just thought, at first he didn't really say anything at first. And then, like maybe the next day or two, he started acting sort of funny and stuff. And he started being kind of cold and standoffish and stuff. And I thought, well, was he mad about me, going to see about my mom? And stuff because he was just acting, kind of like, just like, oh, just all of a sudden he started doing this passive aggressive thing. And I hate passive aggressive. Hate it, hate it, hate it. I hate passive aggressive people. I hate passive aggressive men. I can't stand it. I hate passive aggressive people. If you got something to say it. And so him doing the passive aggressive thing with me, I was just like, what's wrong with you? And stuff. And so after like 2 days of him sort of doing that and stuff, I didn't ask what was wrong because we hadn't been dating but 2 weeks. So what do I care? I didn't even ask what was wrong and stuff. I wasn't trying to ask and I wasn't trying to apologize. I hadn't done anything wrong. I went to see about my mom. I had plans, and stuff. And I think he was upset because he wanted my time. He was demanding my time and I wouldn't give it to him. So I was just like, well, we're done. After that, a little bit after that, I was like, yeah, we're done. Something's wrong with you because I'm not doing all that. I'm not giving up my family just to see you. You're not that great and stuff. And so it was just kind of done and we were over with and everybody went their own way and stuff. But that was like, I was like, really? I'm seeing about my mom and stuff. And so I was like, and that was one thing I didn't want was somebody who had issues with me being close with my family. That was a red flag to me and stuff, because I'm really close to my family. And so if you got issues with me being close to my family and stuff, we weren't gonna make it and stuff. So a little bit after that, we just kind of stopped talking. And let's say I don't ask questions. I don't need closure. I just go on about my way. You acting funny and passive aggressive was closure enough for me and stuff. So our next one is emotional blackmail. This is a very subtle form of emotional abuse. And like I say, with most of these, I'm sure everybody's seen some of these. So, look out for these, ladies. Emotional blackmail is one of the most powerful forms of manipulation. It occurs when one partner either consciously or unconsciously coerces the other into doing what he wants by playing on his partner's fear, guilt, or compassion. And ladies, this could happen to all of us because some of us are kind of guilt-ridden people. I can certainly be a guilt-ridden person, so I really have to watch out for letting my guilt, control what I do and stuff. And I'm also a compassionate person and feel bad for people and stuff. And so those things can certainly be used against you. I'm not saying don't be compassionate. I'm saying just don't let someone use that against you. Examples of emotional blackmail include one partner threatening to end a relationship if he doesn't get what he wants, and one partner rejecting or distancing herself from a partner until he gives in to her demands. If your partner withholds sex or affection, and I've known of people who did that, or gives you the silent treatment or the cold shoulder whenever he is displeased with you, threatens to find someone else, or uses other fear tactics to get you under control, he is using the tactic of emotional blackmail. Threats of emotional blackmail don't have to be overt. In fact, they are often quite subtle. For example, a woman may jokingly suggest that her boyfriend better start paying more attention to her sexually if he wants to keep her. In order to get his wife to do as he wishes, a man may subtly threaten her by saying that it will be difficult to find a new partner who is willing to get involved with a woman who already has 2 children. I, I know somebody who just had this done to them. Someone I know who's actually someone close to me, someone in my family who's having this done to them by someone that they love. they're doing this to them. It's sad, and I don't really know. I'm not in the position, I'm not in the position. We're not close enough. We're my family, but we're not close enough that I feel I'm in the position to say something. Also, my thing always is I don't know with grown people. Grown people just gonna do what they gonna do anyway. So and this person doesn't really want to listen to anybody and stuff. So it's just kind of sad to watch though. Um, or in order to control his partner, a gay man may remind him of how dangerous it is out there in the world with AIDS and all. You have to remember, emotional blackmail. A bunch of people do it. It's just it has no kind of gender assignment. It has no kind of relationship assignment. People will use emotional blackmail in all kinds of ways. And you have to remember, I'm going to say this just an aside and I say this specifically to women. I don't know. I know men withhold affection from women to emotionally blackmail them. My ex-husband did that our whole marriage and stuff. But the withholding of sex, and I know women sometimes do that for punishment and stuff. Yeah, you're abusing your partner. You're abusing your husband if you do that as a way to punish him for not doing what you want. You need to communicate your needs better. You are abusing him. If you're a man withholding affection from your wife, if you won't kiss her, if you won't tell her she's beautiful, if you won't compliment her, if you won't tell her you love her, to keep her under control, to make sure that she does what you want, if you won't hold her hand in public and all those sorts of things, you're emotionally abusing your wife, your girlfriend. You're emotionally abusing her. And I'm just calling it out like it is. You are emotionally abusing people. That is emotional blackmail, and it is cruel and it is unnecessary. I'm also, going to say with the jokingly, people do that, and remember, those things are consistent. People do that all the time. Well, if somebody may say that every once in a while as a joke to you, but you know the difference between a joke and a not joke, and the stuff kind of an underhanded threat and stuff, and people may do that jokingly and say those things to you. Well, if you don't treat me right, then I'll just if somebody does that consistently over and over again, you're being emotionally blackmailed. You're being emotionally abused. And, I just want people to know those things. I don't want you to think that it's okay for people to do that. Or, well, sometimes he does this. Sometimes he doesn't hold my hand. Oh, well, he doesn't always say he loves me and all that kind of stuff as if that's okay. That's not okay. It's not okay. That's not okay for you not to show acts of love. That's not okay for you not to tell someone that you love them. It's not okay for you to withhold sex from your husband, someone you've been along with as a way to punish them. I've seen that too many times. And you end up hurting yourself more than you're hurting the other person by doing something. I've seen that way too many times. And it's not okay. It's not fair, and it's not necessary. You need to communicate your needs better if you can't figure out how to do that. But no, please know that is emotional abuse. I'm going to give you all some warning signs that if you're being emotionally blackmailed. Here's some warning signs. Your partner asks you to choose between something you want to do and him. Your partner tries to make you feel like you are selfish or a bad person if you do something she doesn't want you to do. Your partner asks you to give up something or someone as a way of proving your love for her. Your partner threatens to leave if you don't change. And I'm not talking about change like, you're a jerk and somebody's asking for change. I'm talking about, oh, well, if you don't change, you going out once a week with your friends and stuff. Yeah, if you don't change that, we can't be together anymore. And if you don't change your job, we can't be together anymore. Or, if you don't change the way, like put clothes in the dryer, something really crazy, we can't be together anymore. That's emotional blackmail. Not someone asking, trying to get their needs met through a through a change that's really significant, like someone treating you badly or something like that. I'm not talking about that sort of change. I'm talking about someone asking you to change, and they're it's really something that's just absolutely insanely crazy, and so if you don't stop wearing, if you don't stop wearing t-shirts and cargo pants, then we can't be together anymore and stuff. And that's emotional blackmail. Your partner threatens to withhold money or access to money unless you do something that's requested. If anybody ever, husband, wife, I don't care who it is, if anybody ever tries to withhold access to your money or the money, the bank account you share or won't, you need to get out of there. It's gonna come to a really bad end. You need to get out of there. I mean, it's just gonna come. There's something about someone withholding money that's so controlling and evil, because that means you can't get out of a place. You can't. You literally can't. You can't buy gas. You can't. You can't buy gas in your car to get the hell out of there. And so it's like it's such a really aggressive form of control, withholding access to money. And if you share a bank account, you don't know the bank account number. You don't know the PIN number for the card. You can't have access to credit cards. You can't go into the bank and do business because you know nothing about the account and what's going on. But although you have money in there, or there's money you're supposed to have access to in there, yeah, I'm just giving a fair warning. You need to get the hell out of there. You're about to have something really bad happen to you, and you need to just make a run for it. I'm not gonna even lie about that. There's something wrong with the money, with people who withhold money, or people with withholding affection. It's just cruel. It's cruel to me. It's cruel to do that, and evil to do that to another person and stuff. That's like it's like treating you like a child almost, and that's unacceptable. So those are today's kind of know your emotional abuser um, types of emotional abuse, abusive expectations, and emotional blackmail. Um, like I say, if you want to know more, if you want to know other things, please get the book. There's lots of great books about emotional abuse. And next week we'll be talking about unpredictable responses and constant chaos and creating crisis as forms of emotional abuse. Oh boy, those are going to be very interesting. So I'll talk to you guys next week, and hope you guys have a good week. And please watch out for emotional abusers. And if you think you're with one, you need to really be thinking about a way to set yourself free. It's not worth it. It's not worth your spirit and your life to give to someone who is treating you like that. So I'll talk to you guys next week. You all guys have a great rest of the week. Bye.